What's the line though? Because we see Soft White Underbelly, we see what he does. He interviews chomos. Would you ever interview a chomo?
I'd interview a chomo. I think it's a good perspective.
Jessica Kent is a well-known prison YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. She built her platform telling her story about addiction, incarceration, and giving birth while in prison. After ending her relationship with Burner 420, she publicly alleged that he had been physically abusive and shared photos online to support those claims. That breakup played out very publicly across social media. Now, she has moved on and is reportedly dating a man named Dylan Junkins. Dylan Junkins has already begun stepping into the prison YouTube space, including appearing in an interview on Ian Bick's platform. Ian Bick has recently expanded his reach significantly, even appearing on MrBeast's channel, the largest YouTube channel in the world. That kind of exposure matters. It places Dylan directly in front of a massive online audience and positions him in the same digital lane that previously elevated Burner 420. Whether intentional or not, it looks like the beginning of a social media rollout. And when someone is being introduced to that audience, their background becomes relevant. Public court records show that Dylan Junkins was charged with forcible sexual abuse, classified as a second-degree felony, and he entered a guilty plea. The sentencing documents reflect that he faced an indeterminate prison term of 1 to 15 years, but that prison sentence was suspended. Instead, the court ordered 365 days in jail with all but 36 days suspended, along with 3 years of supervised probation.
In the probation filings, it said there's a minor involved in one of these cases. This dude is a certified registered chomo. But I just don't get why Jessica Kent would do this rollout just to get back at Burner 420. And why would Ian Bick support this and do this interview? This is something that I asked the last couple of weeks, and I just had to realize, didn't the YouTube streets, when we interviewed Ian Bick, didn't we ask him, would you ever interview a chomo? And he gave us an answer. But I'm going to do y'all a solid. I'm going to play you this whole interview because it went to members only for a while. It was exclusive. It only got like 100 views, right? Back in the day when we first started. So this is definitely a moment. Watch this. We got Ian Bick in the house. What's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
We also got AZ Ruction. Ronnie Blue Eyes, of course, and DVS himself. This is the YouTube Streets podcast, brother. Welcome, welcome. Now, first things first, bro. We know you're from Connecticut, but how was it growing up in Connecticut?
It wasn't like New York, I'll tell you that. It was interesting, it was a suburbs, low key. It was a pretty it was normal. I don't really know what to compare it to. I'm sure we all grew up differently. I know Will grew up differently than I did. We all come from different backgrounds.
You didn't grow up in the trenches.
No, I didn't grow up in the trenches. I got into the trenches from my own doing.
But you've had the brains for a long time. I remember you saying before you were really good in school and you went to college.
No, I never went to college. I got into promoting my sophomore year of high school. I was a big house party kid and kind of turned that into a business. And then I got into the world of nightclubs and stuff.
I think that the smarts that you have and that you possess, right? Was it influence, like nurture versus nature kind of thing? Or was it somebody that you looked up to or followed behind and say, yo, listen, this is the route that I want to go and this is where I'm taking it?
I think it was to be an entrepreneur. It's kind of like you're born with it. I've always made my own decisions. I kind of followed my own path, and everything just fell into place the way it was supposed to. Like this whole YouTube thing, for years, I was always intimidated by YouTube. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber. And I look at how hard it is to grow on YouTube and just the growth that's been done in a year. I found my purpose and I was kind of thrown into that. And I'm along for the journey with that.
It's amazing how easily and how quick you did this, because the genius, I seen it from the beginning, man. And I was like, holy shit.
It was definitely fast.
You got this shit in a headlock. And I said, wow. And I started picking up things and everybody started noticing. And then when you started getting into the fighting thing, and I said, oh, he's really getting into this shit. He's not fucking around. He's doing this all the way around the board. And then when he met Tyson, man, it sealed the deal for me, because Tyson's one of my idols, man. A lot of people don't know this, but you know, I was in Tryon Residential, man, limited security, the same place he was at. And a lot of those guards, man, they used to pop shit to us and be like, yeah, we used to hem him up and put him in like leg locks, and we used to fuck Tyson up. Wow. And I used to say to myself, get the fuck out of here. You sound stupid, you know what I'm saying? And it just gave me motivation. So I just commend you, man, because I seen how you came in and you took off flying.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate the kind words.
But let's back it up a little bit. So the club thing happens, you get incarcerated. Leading up the trial, how was that? What was the process? Your parents were probably devastated at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely they were worried. I mean, no one really knows how to navigate that type of situation. Any parent or even a kid. I was, 19 years old, taking the feds to trial. And it's me and my lawyer on one side, and then you got the other side where it's like all these government officials and
the world. You against the world.
Yeah, dude. The day I testified for 2 days at my trial in the courtroom, you couldn't get a seat. They brought in every law student, intern, agent that they had in the area. The head U.S. attorney was there. It was nuts because it's not every day where you have someone going to trial at that age and facing them head on, which is, I think, it makes the story very unique.
Well, they sat down with you and you kind of fucking told them to fuck off. You ain't got shit on me type thing. And it kind of pushed them to go a little harder, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that didn't help, but I also think going into that they were pissed off to begin with because of what I represented. Like, I had the club, I was doing everything my own way. Like, I was this young kid, and I don't think they gave me a fair understanding. Like, they didn't go into it neutral. They came in out to get me. They figured I was the big target. They had their eyes set on me. So I think had it been a little less hostile, because they tried to set me up, in the beginning, meeting with me, with doing the whole, you don't need a lawyer, this and that, acting like you're your friends. So they came at me strong. So I think they could have went about it a whole entirely different way. And they would have saved a lot of money, but everything happened for a reason.
Now, how old were you when you were going through trial?
I was under investigation when I was 18. And then I was sentenced to prison when I was 21. So between 18 and 21, I was fighting my case.
And getting preparing yourself for that, when you realized you were actually going to go to prison, what did you do to mentally prepare for that?
I had no time to prepare. They revoked my bond.
Oh, no shit. They shell shocked you. That's like throwing you in a tub of ice.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to get jail time. My lawyer and I thought we'd get house arrest probation, but then my friend snitched on me, said I was going out of state.
It's always that.
Bastard.
Yeah, so, but I mean, you look at the whole big picture, even with all the bullshit I did, I guess I got off, there's two sides. Like, I got off pretty easy, and it could have been way worse because the guidelines were, 10 to 12 years, and I got 3. Or some people look at it, that's a lot of time, but then you factor in different things and this and that, it was just, it was a crazy experience.
I don't know if they have blown it out of proportion or what, but it says something around you allegedly were making like $1 million at around the age 16. That's crazy.
It wasn't like making as in profit. It was just like, that's what we got in with
revenue, right?
Revenue, this
and that. Still impressive.
It was never really profitable. I would have been a millionaire if it worked out.
Right.
Well, what's the biggest cash out you had that you can remember?
I was making, $10,000 a night.
I've done the bouncing work, man. I worked security for a few clubs and a few teams, man. And the money that comes in there is, you would be very well surprised
like in Boston too.
When the cash comes in, man. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cash that flows through there.
There's nothing like it. Absolutely.
I know that you talk about this a lot, where you pay for protection and stuff like that.
I think you're in survival mode, you kind of like.
I was gonna bring that up. Survival.
You always, what a person's breaking point is. Like, some of these dudes, like that say they're these tough motherfuckers. You can kind of test the waters to see how far they're willing to go. But when it got to the point where I saw these guys that were like these guys from DC that I'd see, they gave no fucks. They came from a pen. They got reduced because of Obama, cut their time. And these guys didn't give 2 fucks because they were, coming from a higher security prison. I'm like, okay, I got to navigate this differently, And then ultimately they ended up getting set up by their own people because they were causing too much ruckus on the compound. someone planted phones in their beds and they got them out of there.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah,
that's
you
how
come
it happens.
higher security joints and you're moving like you're
Dudes
still
get scared.
Yeah,
a lot of dudes get scared.
Exactly. So that's just the way it went, you know, and you learn how to navigate it. And I kind of see who they're beefing with. Like I've always paid attention to my surroundings. So that's what kind of like helped me navigate that.
Would you say work in the club and being, you know, in the nightlife, that actually helped you and worked in your advantage?
I guess a little bit. I think when I was dealing, when I was like getting money from like drug dealers and shit, that definitely helped me. Because you're dealing with guys that are threatening you and stuff. So I was used to being in danger and used to being threatened. And I kind of felt it out in that way. But other than that, you know, it's you kind of see where it goes.
Very good strategy, man. I can see how that can work.
Absolutely.
Did any organization approach you to join them?
No one even told me. Dude, like that. So in the feds, they have like cars, like the Connecticut car, New Jersey car, this and that. And it wasn't until it was too late where guys were giving me a hard time, where someone was like, the New York car is like to the Connecticut car, why aren't you guys looking after this dude? Like his paperwork straight, this and that. And no one just like had done the right thing. And by that point, they didn't really want to fuck with me because I was like a lone wolf getting into trouble with all this shit. But what they should have done if they were good people is came up to me as a fellow good white guy and checked the paperwork and treated me like a normal person. But because of they just automatically assumed, you know, I was a sex offender and never came up to me. No care packages, nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
because any other or not even organization, man, race or whatever, man, there's already care packages set up for anybody that lands there. There's 2 or 3 kitties that's already put together. Oh shit, he just came in, yo, pass him this and check his paperwork. You know what I mean? It was
real dirty, which is why like I didn't give a fuck what happened to them either, you know. I kind of I saw what type of time it was. Everyone was in for themselves.
In Arizona, we're racially segregated. So with that being said, when you come in, they're going to check your paperwork, you know, and if everything is good, they're going to give you burritos for spread. They're going to give you food, hygiene, you know, and then you're going to have somebody that's going to come and break down the rules for you. You know what I mean? So they're going to let you know off top what you can and can't do. Don't say this. Don't say bitch. Don't be calling people punks. You know, they'll just break down the whole everything for you. So it's kind of crazy that you got burned like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And not for you know, to bring this up, but you know that I know you speak candidly about the whole situation with that weird ass guard in the kitchen, man, in the bake shop, man. Was there any like repercussions, anything of that took place? Like, did he ever like get any kind of like you know, reprimand or counsel or anything like that? Because if he did it to you, I'm pretty sure he did it to somebody else.
They buried it. I mean, they had an investigation. The SIS, like lieutenant or whatever, they sounded like that they were after him. They were pursuing him. My old bunkmate said that, you know, they interviewed him. They were definitely doing interviews and shit. And then I even wrote the judge and told him what happened. He ordered like the prosecutors to investigate, and they said like the prison's investigating. And I didn't hear anything from it. And then a guard that was at the medium security prison next to the camp hit me up on Instagram like a few months ago. I was like, hey, is it so-and-so? I was like, yeah. He's like, I always knew that dude was a creep. So that kind of like validated it. He said he doesn't know where the guy's at now. Maybe he got forced out of the prison system. Maybe they offered him like a retirement pack because they're never going to admit it, you know? Yeah, so I'm sure they just pushed him out. They offered him like a resign or get fired type of thing. He left it sealed and thrown out, and that's it.
Or they might have tucked him away on a maintenance crew or something. You never know.
If you had the opportunity, would you box him today?
No, I wouldn't box him because he's made me so much money, man, telling that story.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And weirdos, man. Some weirdos, you just.
It's a scary situation when you're an inmate and you're about to go home, and you know
anything. They can pull anything. He can say, "Yo, you did something to him," and then you were in the fucking box. You got a new charge. All kinds of weird shit. That shit would be super scary.
Scary as shit, bro. They got too much power. Way too much power when it comes to that. I can't imagine what the women go through in these types of situations.
Hey, well, speaking of boxing,
well said.
Speaking of boxing, what happened with Jumpsuit Pablo?
Hey,
That's just all like stuff. It's just, you know,
because listen, we did have Jumpsuit on the podcast, and he still put the offer out there. You know, so where we at with that? We want to know.
No, I mean, we'll set something up when the time comes, man. But he's my boy.
Hey,
Any beef you see on social media, it's just for fun and games.
I hear you.
But you definitely been in. I definitely. I know you've been in that ring, testing them hands, man, and you getting a lot
you're
better,
1-0.
The comfortability, the comfortability is definitely coming.
For it.
Dude, Ian, you're 1-0. Jumpsuit Pablo, we haven't even seen him fight anybody, so it's
He
really
a
like.
pussy. I'll tell him he's a pussy. But we gotta get the beef, get the clip.
Hey, did Mike Tyson give you advice or what?
Yeah, that's the question.
When I saw him, Tyson, he looks at me and he's like, you know, you look like a smart motherfucker. And then he hit the blunt, but really cool dude. I got his right here.
What about this other dude, this TikTok dude? We had him on too, and we told him to calm down, but his name was Lucky Chucky. You ever heard of this guy?
Dude, don't give that man the
He did 60 days in.
Is he? What's his allegations?
He didn't do 60 days in.
Well, he did like 6 minutes.
10 days in. 10 days in, I heard.
He's looking for whatever, you know.
Facts. He was on here trying to clout chase and start a fight.
He did nothing to the guy, and he started talking shit. Now he's in my DMs all the time. Fuck that dude. Like, I don't know I literally did nothing wrong to him. I literally made a comment about something, and then all of a sudden he went ballistic. Like,
emotion over strategy.
I could see him doing that shit too. I could see him going off the handle for no reason.
Issues with that man. He's got all the issues for nothing, you know. So
I hear you, bro.
He can keep driving around this rented Maserati or whatever the fuck he does, you know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, well, what's Ian Bick driving right now?
Let's get to that.
Ooh,
I got the Nissan Rogue.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Stack that money, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, my goal is, you know, you get the celebrities, you do an angle to have them on the show, and then that kind of brings awareness to the normal stories, you know, like the Williams of the world, the average people, because that's what the show's about. So you use those celebrities to gain bigger traction to get to focus on the other stories.
Salute. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. It's almost are you kind of going with the soft white underbelly kind of concept, like with a little bit of a sauce to it, like?
Maybe. I mean, it's always going to stay really trauma and prison-y. There's so many stories. There's millions of people that have faced addiction and stuff, but we'll pepper in different things, different avenues, different people to talk to. But every story's got to be entertaining. Like, I'm not going to just see, he'll take like a normal construction worker or whatever and interview them. And that's great. That's his thing. That's what he's known for, you know? Mine is more like a therapy session. It is the way.
Absolutely. And the guys get on me, right? These guys right here to get on me. Because I was really nervous.
Yeah, what happened? What did you do to him? Because it looked like he was so nervous.
He
was shaky, dude.
Yeah.
He did good, man. He did really good.
It was so formal and like to the point. It felt like almost like a parole sit down in the beginning.
Job interview.
We've even gotten to the point, bro. Ian, we've even gotten to the point where we're even dissecting the picture before your pod. So if you take a picture with William, you put your arm around him. You didn't do the same with 1090. Why didn't you put your arm around 1090?
I don't know. It's the way it happened. Now I don't even take pictures anymore with both of us. I have a Polaroid of all the guests, snap a picture of them, because I'm doing all the filming myself now. I don't have anyone filming for me now.
Did 1090 have like a don't touch me aura? Like this is my space and stay out of it.
No, you go up and give that man a hug. I love 1090.
Yeah.
No, I know. He, you know, it's just, you know, sometimes you feel like with the clapping and the presence might be a little different. I don't know.
TikTok first, then YouTube, or is YouTube first and then TikTok?
For me,
yes.
I started TikTok and then I quickly transitioned to building all my platforms. So I started posting YouTube shorts. Every time I do a TikTok, that clip would go on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube shorts. But I didn't start my first episode until like 4 months later or 5 months later.
Yeah, because it seems like you hit the ground running with the YouTube. It went crazy. Like, it seems like you came out of nowhere, and then it's all I've seen for a while.
Well, you're the fastest growing prison channel post-COVID.
I would say it's definitely a lot harder to grow. in COVID. And also, I don't think anyone can go on and do what like 1090 or 23-1 or even what JD. I think JD might be the last in the Mohegan for being able to grow on a webcam that quickly and tell stories like that. You know, I think it's very tough to pull off from a web perspective. I think I'm more in like Johnny Mitchell's lane.
Johnny Mitchell.
Yeah, that's a dope channel. I see you did an interview with him about 3 months ago. And Jay Williams also, he's self-made. He does all his stuff. You know, I did a podcast with Jay. I had him come to Boston. I seen you did one with him. So he's self-made as well. So I can understand that.
They're in like that COVID group where they exploded during that. You know, Chad, Marks, all of those guys, they really stood out during that time period. And then they have that and they're maintaining that, which is great. I started the way they started in the past year. I don't know if it would have had the same effect. I think you have to put a different spin on what everyone else is doing.
Definitely. You got to be original. You got to be you. There's only one you in this world. You know what I mean? As long as you're you, just like the rap game, I always tell people, just be you. Be original. There's only one of you. It's better to be a first impression of yourself than a second version of anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's what makes a generational artist is when they do that. Space, same with the podcast space. But let me ask you this: why did you interview Chatting with Stacks?
You want to come on the show, man?
No, I'm just messing with you, man. It's just funny. We got history with him, bro.
I like. He's a good dude, man.
I beef with that dude for like 2 years now. You know, don't put this in the same circle as you. This is AZ Ruction saying that. I just call him Ratting with Stacks. But
nah, man, I'm open to everyone. I give everyone space to come on and share their story, and I don't judge, so I don't get involved.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, I know.
Nah, that's good. We always clown over here.
Are you gonna still interview prison YouTube, like the prison YouTubers, like because you are? I know you mentioned Death earlier, but you have literally took his lane. He doesn't the way he's made it more personalized. What he's done, you were interviewing people, and you could literally put people on, like DVS himself. Like, you know, I knew DVS before you interviewed him, but a lot of people didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it'll you know, I do want to get all the big people on there. I know like people hate on like Wes Watson and shit, but like I would do an interview with Wes, but a lot of these guys are so fucking stuck up, man, and they think they're better than everyone.
What about Jessica Kent?
I've been talking to Jessica. I mean, she just went through shit with like her divorce or this and that. But I've been talking to her and Burner about doing like a joint episode and then individual ones. Shit. Yeah, so she's on my list. I got a couple other female ones, but like some of these other ones, like Christina Randall, impossible to get a hold of.
Right,
like,
yeah,
how do people not check their emails or read their? It's fucking nuts.
I know you do. You've actually wrote me multiple times. I tried to not go. I was trying to get you on. I'm not a prison dude. I just do pods. But you were, my guys, AZ, of course, he's been talking with you and DBS. But yeah, so with Jessica Kent and Burner, like, would you ask tough questions with them?
Yeah, I ask tough questions to everyone, man. Like,
I can't wait for it. Okay, I'm ready now.
Yeah, anyone. I don't avoid questions. We see where the conversation goes, and we just ask questions that people want to know about.
Hey, well, I got a good spin for you. My mom had just recently started her prison YouTube, but she just retired 26 years in Arizona Department of Corrections. So I was always thinking, I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool to do an interview with you where her and I are right there, because she was on the other side of the fence, and I went the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I've done joint interviews before. If you guys can make it to Connecticut, I'm all ears for whatever.
That would go viral. Mom and son. That's never been done before. That's crazy.
Yeah, and AZ's the problem child, man. He's like, I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm gonna just do my own thing. He's a wild child, and he had everything handed to him. He just did not want that shit. He wanted it the rough way.
Handed to me. Nah, it wasn't like that. We're not gonna say that. That's crazy.
Safety and security and a loving mother, man. I wish I had that. That's all I needed, man. Some safety, some food, and some hugs and shit. I'd have been all right, man.
I heard that.
Now, Ian, I know you probably try to avoid the Reddit, but the Reddit says that you might possibly be industry plant. You ever heard that before from anybody?
Yeah, where do you see that on Reddit? You got to send me this one.
It's a Kid Shark.
That is a dark world, man. Reddit is a dark world.
I'll look that up. Ian Bick Reddit? No way.
It's Jessica.
World.
It's in Jessica Kent's Reddit. It's called Kent Shark. But they're saying this is the thing. You came out of nowhere, right? And actually, I had a documentary someone did on me calling me a plant. So I understand people call plants when you do successful stuff. Like they just say, "Yo, you're a plant." But have you never heard that before by anybody?
No, I've heard that. I think if anyone's a plant, it's that fucking whatever that girl's name is, the one that blew up. She was a plant.
No.
The girl, the quiet girl that interviewed like Drake and
Bobby.
Bobby. And then she just disappeared.
She had a huge TikTok following that the industry literally planted her into the podcast world. She's not a good interviewer, nothing. She didn't know how to do it. They literally
she's awkward and quiet. Yep.
That's a plant.
That's what you like. Yeah, those are for the autistic people.
Oh, that's the Bobby chick, right?
Yeah.
That's who you guys are talking. Oh, yeah. She got burned by Drake. That was funny.
The memes came flying everywhere when you and 1090 did the interview. It was Bobby Hill and McLovin. Do you get that a lot?
I see the comments. I don't even really know who Bobby Hill is, but I see what they write about him.
Bobby Hill is one of the conspiracy cartoons, like almost like a spin-off of the
Hank
Simpsons.
Hill's son. He's Hank Hill's son, King of the Hill.
Interesting. Hey, you guys hear that Bill Feasy got arrested?
Nah, huh?
Whoa.
Wow. I was on an ankle monitor, and I was only allowed out of the house from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And keep in mind, I was a drug addict. I was selling drugs before that, but then I started, I was using drugs, so I was still a drug addict. And, I had to get high. So I saved up some money and I bought 500 feet in extension cords. I had one unplug. I plugged it in, and you could come over to the apartment complex at 3 a.m, follow the orange and green cord, and it would be in somebody's apartment. And I'd just be sitting there chilling. So I ran
That's how you do it.
Forever. I would just carry this black box. I robbed a dude for $8,000 while carrying the black box. He got arrested by the feds, and I knew he sold drugs, so I creeped into his window and found $8,000 in $100 bills, and I crept through the window with my little box.
Where's my cut?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
You guys got to give me a cut. Shoot me some cash.
Who is your dream guest? Because you've already interviewed some of the biggest names in pop culture. So who is your dream guest?
Definitely like Mike Tyson. I want to do Gypsy Rose, Jelly Roll.
I see you've been fishing for Gypsy, man. I've been trying to help you out with that. I've been dropping your name in her goddamn.
Dude, I think it's only a matter of time because she's doing crap interviews, and it's not her fault. It's just the people don't know what to ask her. She needs to go on someone's channel that's been to prison before and have a real interview,
Facts.
So
one of the most amazing things that I heard her come out of her mouth was that she felt the safest as soon as they took her away and put her in jail.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know her stories. Her story is crazy.
Yeah, she went through some shit, fucking nuts. But I think she'd be great on the show.
Facts.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you'll ask those questions too, so it'll be good questions coming out.
What's the line? What's the line though? Because we see Soft White Underbelly. We see what he does. He interviews chomos. Would you ever interview a chomo?
I'd interview a chomo. I think it's a good perspective. You got.
Would you want to smash him out? Are you going to smash him out on the interview?
Come on,
Have
man.
you ever got? Well, you can't really ask. Don't even ask that because.
Yeah, I'm not someone. I'm not what. I'm not Will. I'm not Will.
No, JD. Do it, bro. I wouldn't be able to do it, man. I would have to have so much restraint. I would have to be behind a glass window or something.
Dude, it's good to get the perspective. That's why I have cops on. I have everyone, all sides of it.
That corrupt officer that was on right after me. What was his name?
Steven Dominguez.
Yeah, I like his story, man.
Well, we've seen you do skits with JD, and you pretended to not actually be well, I don't know if you pretended to be a choma, but you pretended to be a victim, and like the way y'all did skits. So, I mean, it's satire to you at the same time.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all funny, It's fun, it's entertaining, and that's all it is,
Yeah, for all you derlicks out there, I mean, you gotta have tough skin in this game, man. Coming into this, you gotta know that there's gonna be dickheads just like you guys popping shit for no reason. So
you have to. 100%.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't want to answer this one, of course, but here's a tough one. Is there one interview that you were just kind of like, I could have lived without doing that one?
No, I think it's when I do the second ones, the part twos. I'm staying away from that going forward. Unless someone has life-changing circumstances, bringing on a part two, one, it never performs the best, and two, it's just like it's kind of repetitive and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, like every episode has a different spin, and it's always the episodes you least expect that do the best. But I know, like, if it says murder or gang bang or any of that or shot caller, those always blow up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the algorithm loves the bullshit.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I mean, you need the catchy stuff to drive attraction into the episode,
Yeah.
So it's
drama,
all,
you need the drama to keep.
Yeah, dude, it's that's the name of the game. It's all part of it,
Big facts. Do you have super bad chicks calling you McLovin?
Some do. The TikTok comments are always very funny.
What's up?
Yeah, TikTok is a different world, man.
Yeah, I love TikTok comments. They're always very funny.
Well, tell people real quick that don't know, haven't seen your story. I'm sure most people have, but just elaborate a little bit on how the paid protection came about.
I mean, so pretty much I was at the Fort Dix low security prison, and then these guys from DC, pulled up on me. They thought I was moving around too much, trying to get into cell phones and gambling and everything. And, they pretty much pulled up on me, and they were like, hey, you got to pay us and we'll protect you and this and that, and we'll hold your phone for you. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And, they smacked the glasses off of my face. That's people still make the joke. My cheeks are still red from that slap, which is pretty funny. But, that's what happened. And that's how I was getting close with the New York car and stuff, and some guys that didn't really have much. And I just, it wasn't like, hey, can I pay you to protect me? It was like, I just started giving them some commissary and shit, and they started looking after me. And other people, those DC guys, kind of backed off because they didn't want to step on these guys' toes.
Right. Smart move. Now, I was going to ask, what was the biggest difference between the people that approached you and the people that you approached?
I think they were just more genuine, not scumbags. The people that approached me, they're fucking pieces of shit out for no good,
Yeah.
Intention, right?
Yeah, there were some booty bandits.
Oh.
Oh man!
Did you
say about the DC guys that they're booty bandits?
Yeah, you heard about them.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran into anybody since you've been out?
Like that I was in prison with, or?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people I've been in prison with on the show before.
Definitely.
My old bunkmate, I've had different people like that. But I've run into guards in Danbury because there's a Danbury federal prison. Wow. And I live in Danbury, and things like that.
Man, now have you ran into them just randomly? I know you had people on, you said, but like just randomly after your success?
Prison, no. I mean, people will reach out, but guards I ran into randomly. But most of the people I was in prison with were not in this area, so.
Right.
I got you.
And you're financially stable where you don't even have to do like what you were doing before, like with the club. You're literally sticking to the content, right? You don't have do you have a normal job as well?
No normal job. I just do this, man, and I'm building my studio business. I have a studio that I'm trying to get clients and help other people make clips and monetize and everything like that. So that's my
brand new too, right? Brand new studio.
So that's what I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Hey, congrats, man. Well deserved.
that's what I got going on. You know, I'm just it's a grind.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right, don't call me gay for this question, but a woman asked me to ask you this: would you ever do OnlyFans?
Funny story. I actually had an OnlyFans last year when I was just starting out. I don't have it anymore. I made a few grand off of it, dude. It's you run out of content as a man, you know, unless like you do like boy girl, like where you have a girl that you're willing to like consistently do that with. But just like having me by myself, it kind of ran out, and it was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'll just jack him off on camera.
Oh man, 50 grand, man. You piece of
the They were paying me.
That's why I fuck.
They say Burner 420's got an OnlyFans too, man.
Good for him, man. I respect that.
Now, before we go, I got one question, and this is usually what I ask everybody. What is your conspiracy that you believe in 150%, and why?
What was that again? The 50%? Yeah, hit me with that again.
What is your conspiracy that you believe in 150%, and why?
Conspiracy. Ooh.
Yeah.
That Bobby girl's a plant.
I was just about to say that.
Let's go.
Good one.
That Bobby girl is a
Bobby is just a plant.
Yeah, I'm not really into the big conspiracies, like when they talk about, you know, like 9/11 or this and that.
No, that's a good one though.
Yeah, but Bobby,
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah, Bobby's a conspiracy theory for sure.
Bobby, you a plant, Bobby.
She's not even good looking to me, bro. She's like a freaking board. She's like you ever seen the Ed and Eddie with the little board?
I get it.
And yo, attitude is
She's
everything,
smart,
and that shit is ugly to me.
I've heard her
funny,
talk
but
when she's not in her acting mode. I've heard her talk, and she's on interviews of people interviewing her, and she's very smart. Very
that's a whole character.
She knows what she's doing. She's doing. I'll give her that, you know?
Facts.
Yo, Joker Diaz, you're absolutely right, man. I'm holding it together, man. Just holding it together, baby.
They said DVS looks like Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, baby.
Yo, don't do my man like that.
What a brush that.
He's kung fu fighting and all that.
Man, Ian again, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure chatting. I'll see you guys soon.
Definitely, bro.
Thank you, man.
Much respect, dog. From Boston, Massachusetts, Ronnie Blue Eyes. Salute.
Peace out, guys.
AZ Love from the Cactus State. Let's go.